it's Sarah here. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be wrapping up the first half of May. I can't believe it is May already. And it's halfway over, even more. Like, I can't even believe it. I did not read a whole lot. I've been kind of slumpy and busy, and I mean, I guess that's all good, but it's not really good for my reading. I've completed 4 books in the first half of May, and I did try a few other books. I read a couple chapters of a few things and decided they really weren't for me. So I'm not really going to include that. I guess I can tell you what they were, because they did take up some time, but I just decided it wasn't for me. So that's kind of that. And those were Geekerella. I was really annoyed with the girl, so I DNF'd that, and the Standard Grand that I got from the library, I decided that one wasn't quite for me either. So the first book that I finished this month was Dead Man's Waltzing by Ella Barrick. This is the second book in the Ballroom Dance Mystery series by her. This one was not as cute as the first one, but I really liked that it brought in Maurice a little bit more, who was a secondary character in the first book, and I kind of like Maurice, so I was glad to see that. So in this one of the bigwigs in the ballroom dance community drops dead in front of Stacy's teacher, one of her teachers at her studio, Maurice, who we get to see a bit more of, and in order to clear his name, she gets involved trying to find out who killed. So this is a cozy mystery. Again, not as cute as the first one, but definitely some fun. And I think I gave it 3 stars. Then I had from the library and have since brought back A Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh. It's a new release, obviously, and pretty popular around booktube. It is a young adult fantasy book, and it is set in feudal Japan, where our protagonist, Mariko, who was raised to be married and is going to, in fact, be marrying one of the emperor's sons with, like, one of his concubines or his secondary wife or whatever the story is, and her convoy on the way gets attacked, and she's the only survivor, and so she decides to dress as a boy and infiltrate the group of people who she thought were the ones who killed all of those people, to see if she can figure out why they wanted her dead. If you liked Renee Ahdieh's writing in The Wrath and the Dawn, you will love this. The story itself was really great. I really loved reading something that was set in Japan for a change. And I thought the story was a lot of fun. I don't know how many books are going to be in this series. It is the first book in a series. And as far as the fantastical elements go, there's a lot of unanswered questions so far. A lot of things. So I'm anticipating the next book. I can't wait to get to it. I will get on my soapbox a little bit, though. There are comparisons of this book to Mulan, and I find that incredibly wrong and offensive. Mulan was a real person, and she was from China. And Japan and China are different countries, and we don't go around stealing other people's and other nationalities and other countries, human, like, famous people, and putting them in other countries. So comparing this to Mulan, I feel like is doing the Chinese people a great disservice. Mulan does not belong to Japan. So, but that being said, this is a book with a cross-dressing woman. And that has been seen before in many other cultures, and many other people, like Joan of Arc dressed as a man, and it is used in a trope in many, many, many books. And so we can take the whole Mulan thing out of this and say that it is a girl dressed as a boy in order to do something. And that has been used in many other books before, and I hope I clearly stated that, but let me tell you that I was really, 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 really angry when I was first reading this book that it was, because I'm a stickler for those sorts of things. So I read that, I gave it 4 stars, I really enjoyed it. Then we started Bout of Books, which I participated in, and I read 2 books. I wish I had read more books, but hey, sometimes life gets in the way. The first one I read was the last book in the Ballroom Dance Mystery series, which is the Homicide Hustle by Ella Barrick. And this one was a whole lot of fun. This one is a play on all Dancing with the Stars and basically on reality shows as it is. One of the producers for the reality show that she is participating in with her celebrity gets killed, and all the people that are on the show are suspects, and so she ends up getting involved in the murder again. You know, they're cozy mysteries. But it was very, very fun. A lot of the backstory and like just the interesting parts of, you know, being on a reality show. So this one was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this one a lot better than the second one. I think I gave it 4 stars. And then I read this one, A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 3rd book in The Court of Thorns and Roses, and this one, I believe, wraps up Feyre and Rhys's storyline, basically, in a delightful manner, and I really can't talk much about it without spoiling all of the other books. But this is a new adult series. This one has a lot less sexy times in it than the second one does. But there is a lot of brutality and things of that nature. And this kind of finishes up the story arc of the King of Highburn and the war and all of that that's going on. There are going to be 3 other books in this series. And I can see where I really, really do want more about some of the other characters. I do feel like the one storyline, and again with Feyre and Rhysand, is kind of wrapped up and they're in a good place. I don't know if that's a spoilery thing to say, but I really, really want to know about Tamlin even. You know, I feel like, you know, he has more, and her sisters definitely have more, and Cassian and Israel and more, and all of them have more story to tell, and I want it. So I am looking very much forward to the next 3 books, and the only thing I need to figure out is whether I give these 3 books to my grandparents to read now, feeling that this is like a complete little story, or whether I hold these books for another 3 years for the next 3 books to come out. So I have to decide that. Overall, I really, really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars and not 5 because every once in a while something drives me crazy in a book. And in this case, she kept writing that the person made a crude gesture, and it was so many times throughout this book that it became almost humorous and then like irritating to me. I don't, you know, so like it just drove me a little bit crazy and took me out of the story because I just got a little bit crazy. And yes, I know I'm weird, but every once in a while, like, they use the same phrase over and over and over and over again, and I just can't even stand it anymore. And so I had to dock a star for that because it really did pull me out of the book. But overall, I love the world, I love the story. It was 4 stars, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes, because even with this story arc, there's a whole lot of things that need to happen between the humans and the Fae. There's a lot of talking and things that need to get done, and I can't wait to read about it. I'm currently reading Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. I got this in my Lit Cube, and this is like a You've Got Mail sort of deal, and it's a cute contemporary and definitely a summer read, and it's hot out. As you can see, I have no sleeves. So I've got that going on, and I'm not very far into it. Hopefully I'll carve out a little bit more time to actually read. I'm going camping this weekend with like a big group of people, so I'm hoping to have a little bit of time to read because I need my alone time, but we will see. So until then, and until I find something else to film, I will, keep watching and keep reading. Bye.